Hold up a second. I know many of you just wanna see the tier list and move on. But please, give me the 8 minutes of your time to explain the placements that I have made. I promise I won't waste your time like many other ML YouTubers do with their tier lists. Shots fired. Because you will gain the knowledge of why certain heroes are very good picks right now and why others are not. And not only that, at the end of the video I will also tell you a way how you can get up to 30% more diamonds. I would also love to hear your feedback afterwards in the comments, especially about the placements you disagree with me. Keep in mind that there are only 9 heroes per tier allowed, so I had to force myself to really think about every placement that I have made. And also keep in mind that this is a solo queue tier list. Some placements might be different for a trio or a 5-man team. Now that that's out of the way, let's start with the XP lane. First we have a look at the tier list itself and then some explanation. Always pause the video by the way if you want to take a closer look. Alright, let's talk first about the best XP laner right now, Grok. On the XP lane you need a hero that can clear the wave quickly, sustain a lot in the late game, survive ganks on their own and are able to hold their lanes without too much support. Grok ticks all of his boxes. His wave play is great, he's able to deal an insane amount of damage while still being tanky, his wall can be used in many creative ways to hold your lane or to support his team in a gank, and he can become immune to CC skills, which is really important to survive an ambush on the sideline for example. His ult is also insane right now, with a stun duration of 1.8 seconds. If you're searching for a XP laner that is also not insanely hard to learn, Grok is your best choice right now. Another hero that ticks all of the boxes I mentioned is Marsha. The only difference here is that she's also super good at pushing turrets or helping out at the turtle or lord, which is an ability that is very useful, especially when you have 4 headless chicken in the team who never even heard the word pushing in their entire life. To rank up from epical glory to mythic, she's the best pick for the XP lane in my opinion. Let's move on to the other side of the map now, the gold lane. Have a good look at the list first. One hero you should never ever ban is 1-1, because she's my favorite hero. Aww. So just leave her alone, okay? It's not her fault that Moonson made her completely OP. So yeah, back to being serious. 1-1 is our first pick or ban candidate. I would still suggest that you learn how to play her, because if there's a chance to pick her, you get a couple of free wins while ranking up. A super detailed 1-1 guide will be released in the next couple of days, so if you don't wanna miss that, subscribe now. If you're looking for a gold lane hero though, that you can pick in almost every game, I would highly suggest that you start to play with Beatrix. Yes, the 60 pages long Beatrix guide will be released soon as well, don't worry. Although she received some nerfs, she's still the hero with the highest popularity in higher mythic games, which is an awesome indicator for you that she is one of the best heroes right now. With her different guns she's super versatile, and if you really know how to use that to your advantage, you will climb up the ranks faster than you ever did before. Another great marksman is Popol and Cooper. You can easily harass the enemy's marksman on your lane while taking no damage yourself. And he's also a great hero for pushing turrets. Brody is great to finish off enemies and is able to deal a huge amount of damage with only a few attack items, like Blade of Despair or Malefic Row for example. This allows you to build a couple of defensive items on him, what lets him become a marksman with insane damage, while also being able to sustain a lot. Clint is another very good hero you can use, although he's not as strong anymore as he was before his nerf. These 5 heroes all have one thing in common though, that I haven't mentioned yet and what makes them the best heroes on the gold lane. They all have the ability to survive ganks on their own from the get-go, while still being able to deal an insane amount of damage in the late game. This is what sets them apart from the other heroes on the gold lane list. Or at least, they're doing a better job in achieving this than others. This is also a reason why marksmen like Mia, Leslie or Layla are so low in the list. While they can also deal an insane amount of damage in the late game, they have a hard time surviving against other marksmen in the early game. And when being ganked, they have a really hard time escaping or defending the lane. The worst of them right now is Hanabi, who desperately needs some adjustments. She's so bad right now that I decided to not even include her as an okay pick, which is really sad. Now that we're done with both side lanes, let's move on to the mid lane. Again, have a good look at the list first. This lane is of course completely dominated by mages. The only exceptions I have made are Grok and Matilda. Since months, Valentina is a banner pick hero, which haven't changed even with the nerfs that she received. As of recording, she has a ban rate of 88% in higher mythic games. In the current tank meta, mages who can deal continuously damage are the best choice that you can make. We're starting with Cecilion, who was already a very good pick before the meta shift, but right now, he's even stronger. Cecilion is so great in solo queue because no matter how bad your team is, if you manage to stall the game long enough and keep increasing your stacks, You can turn him around basically every game. His range is another reason why he is so good, because you can just nuke your enemies away while being out of range for them. And even if you get caught, you always have your ult to escape. 𝐉𝐴 can nuke half of the HP from marksmen and mages away from anywhere on the map with his ult, which also has a pretty short cooldown if you use enough cooldown reduction items. The duration of his second skill immobilizing effect is also insanely long. Eve is in the meta since months, and I don't think this will change unless they start to nerf her to death. Other heroes that have fallen out of the meta are burst damage heroes like Kagura or Kadita. Against the right enemies they are still good options of course, but since many enemies will be more tanky, you don't have the ability to one-shot those guys anymore, which makes them obviously weaker in the current meta than those heroes who can melt down the tanky heroes with multiple attacks. Next we have a look at the Roamer role. Here you have the list. Enjoy! In my opinion, there are 3 heroes who dominate this role right now, which is also the reason they are being banned very often in high mythic ranks. Grok, Franco and Hilda. If you learn how to use Franco's hook, you can easily turn around every gank into a 5v4, because you can take one enemy completely out of the game. You can also easily delay the farm of the enemy's jungler with it, or at least keep 3 enemies busy defending their jungle, while your team can quietly farm. With the suppression effect of his ult, you can also easily target the most annoying enemy, while they can't do anything about it. Even super difficult to kill heroes like Ling, Karina or 1-1 are no problem for you if you have the right timing. Hilda is basically unkillable right now, and you can harass the enemy non-stop with her. If you need some HP, just stay in the bush and wait for a bit. With the first skill you can also roam around the map super fast and quickly move to the place where your team needs you. The most OP roamer right now is Grok though, why I already explained earlier in the video. One hero I would like to mention as well, because I originally wanted to put in the best tier, is Angela. She's great in combination with tanky junglers like Karina or Basha, because they become almost unkillable when you ult them. But since you never know how good your teammates actually are in solo queue, you're too dependent on their performance with her. If you play with a friend who's good with a tanky jungler though, she's easily in the best tier. Now let's move on to the last role, the jungler role. Have a look at the list first. This time we even have 2 banner pick candidates, Karina and Ling. Karina is just totally OP, due to her ability to be tanky, being immune to all physical attacks, while still dealing a good amount of damage. Being tanky and dealing a lot of damage is always OP. Ling on the other hand is not tanky, but also super difficult to kill. He can easily attack the backline, become immune with his ult, and escape again. And you can't do much about it. He's also great at split pushing. He also has great split push abilities due to his rotation speed. I would always make sure to ban those 2. That leaves only one hero in the best tier that isn't a banner pick candidate, and that's Basha. Like Karina, he is also a tanky jungler that can deal a good amount of damage. He has the ability to roam around very fast and clears jungle in no time. He can also just stand there while you try to kill him and laugh at you. If you ever played against a good Basha player, you know what I mean. And even when you come close to finally melt him down, he just escapes easily with his first skill. Barrett and Belmont are also the same kind of tanky junglers. And I would also consider 𝐾𝐲𝐬𝐴 as a tanky jungler, because you should use a hybrid build with him. Demon Hunter Sword and Malefic Roar in combination with Thunderbolt and 2 defensive item that gives you more HP works really well with him. The same effect that applied for burst mages also applies for assassin burst heroes of course. That's why heroes like Harley or Saber are very low on the list. Now let me explain you how you can get up to 30% more diamonds with Aptoid. There are only 2 simple steps you have to make to get more diamonds and also to support my channel with it. Firstly, you have to re-download Mobile Legends with the first link in the video description and install it. There's no virus or anything, I promise. I tested it myself. You also don't have to re-download all of the resources again. Don't worry about that. Secondly, you download the AppCoins wallet app from the second link and open it once. This creates a wallet automatically, and you don't have to enter any personal data. In your wallet you can store your App Store credits, which you receive for every purchase you make from now on. You will get an initial bonus of 10%, which can go up to 20%. The more you spend, the higher the bonus will get. Now if you enter my promo code MLG5 into the promo code window, which you will find in the settings, you will get an additional bonus of 5%. That means if you buy diamonds for $10, you receive $1.50 as App Store credits, which you can use to buy even more diamonds. And again, you would also support my channel without having any extra costs. Well, it's quite the opposite if you think about it. There are also additional bonuses from time to time, like on the 23rd of March, where you receive another 15% bonus. With my promo code together you get a total bonus of 30%. So if you would spend $20 you get $6 back and can get another load of diamonds right away afterwards without any extra costs. So just follow the 2 steps in the video description and get all of your skins you ever wanted. Also, thank you very much Update for the cooperation, you guys are awesome, love ya! Now that you have watched this whole video, you also have to watch my 50 noob mistakes video. Because even when you play with the best heroes, that won't help you if you make any of these mistakes. See you over there!